I was like, you're back with a familiar voice. I know, but don't call it a comeback. But I feel like we woke up and it's 2014 again because the division leaders are making it feel like it's 2014. So welcome into Fake Football Analysts. I'm your boy Hollywood Ray Sean McCain with my guy Aaron Kaz. Giving it to you on a Friday, right? We don't normally do things on a Friday, even when we were TMS. But just special circumstances, we had to give it to you on a Friday. So Kaz, how you doing, man?
I'm doing okay. I haven't been able to watch the Giants in 3 weeks, and I think I'm okay with that. They don't put them on TV anymore.
Well, I mean, between the injuries and obviously just unfortunately, just being out the hunt right now, um, you got people crying about clapping at the clapping at the snap. So you know what that means. The Patriots are back, ladies and gentlemen. But if you're crying about someone, clapping their hands to mess with the count, like, are you kidding me? Um, was the
That
count
was
being
pretty
messed?
funny.
But
That was
I,
pretty
but I was
funny.
like, but I was like, with Drake, was the snap being messed with when Drake London scored 3 touchdowns? Like, come on, don't do that, don't do that, Raheem Morris, don't do that, bro. That's super weak. Um, but yeah, that lets me know that teams are looking at New England differently again, and I'm like, here we go,
You know what
here
though?
we
You,
go.
you know what though? And I said this in the preview, the AFC preview, that the Patriots going to win the division. And you were like, "Oh man, don't jinx us!" And every single rusher that's gone up against them, they average 50 yards and under. So my
Yeah,
Bijan,
yeah.
I couldn't do anything. I was like, "No, Bijan."
He made some good plays, receiving wise, but yeah, Dave. I mean, listen, from Milton Williams to Barmore, like they've prided themselves on making sure that they don't allow you to run on them. So hopefully it stays that way. We'll have a big test with Derrick Henry in a few weeks, but that's just what it's been. But yeah, no, I mean, we'll go through the division leaders and then we'll just talk about the games real quick. So we got obviously the Patriots are ahead of the AFC East. Pittsburgh is ahead of the AFC North. The Colts are ahead of the AFC South. The Broncos, even after they won last night, now at 8-2, ahead of the AFC West. Eagles lead the NFC East. Packers lead the NFC North. Tampa Bay leads the NFC South, and in Seattle and the Rams are tied for the NFC West. So yes, before we get into any further, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter or X as well, so you don't miss any of our content. So, what's the biggest surprise, man? Because like I said, I just gave you all the division division leaders right now. Just who's the biggest surprise to you so far?
I think the biggest surprise would have to be, I want to say, the AFC North, just because the Baltimore Ravens are not who we thought they were. As they traded Jair Alexander to the Eagles and Lamar
Yeah,
Jackson's been hurt, I thought they were going to take the division, but it ended up being the Steelers. So that one was a little bit surprising to me.
yeah. I mean, outside of what I think about New England, like I have to go with Seattle being at 6-2. Um, is Sam Darnold turning into Kirk Cousins? Like, is he becoming that guy?
I think he's becoming the Sam Darnold the Jets wanted him to be, but he didn't make it there because of
Right.
the development. So I think with Kubiak over there, who actually knows what he's doing, he spent that year in Minnesota, which is great for him and his development. I just think that helped him the most. And also, too, Kyle Shanahan. We always forget he was the backup of San Francisco when they went back to the Super Bowl. So I think with all the teachings and everything he's learned under good coaching trees, I think that's what's making him great in Seattle. Plus, they just traded for Rashid Shahad from New Orleans, who's going to be nasty with them because
Yeah.
even though Cooper Kupp's there, I think he's still hurt. or he just didn't play. And then you have obviously Jigba is just going off. So it's like, yeah, you could say Kirk Cousins, just a little bit younger, but I just feel like he's actually finally stepping into his own.
Yeah. And maybe Baker Mayfield's a better comp than Kirk Cousins, but I think that
yeah, that's not a bad comp.
Yeah, because I think this, I mean, love it for them. I would say, because remember, we did the clean your desk earlier in the year, and you was on Dave Canales' head, but he said not so fast, Mr. Cass.
He must have listened to our show.
Yeah, listen.
Put pressure on him.
Yo, 5-4. Like, and once again, we blew the doors off them when they came into New England. So like that win looks a lot better than, because people was like, oh, it's only the Panthers. I'm like, they've beat some of your favorite teams already. So so they're definitely in the hunt. But no, I'll give a few minutes to the Patriots, and then we can get into the picks, man. Wow. I cannot sit here and tell you that I thought they'd be 7-2. There's no way. Especially when so many people were like, oh, they'll be lucky to get to 5 or 6 wins. This team is a year away from being a year away. And you hear all these pundits, all these analysts, right, talk about that. And I think I talked about it last week, but the whole schedule thing, right? Now people are saying, well, the schedule is not, or not, they've been saying the last few weeks, oh, who have you beaten? The schedule's this. I want to reiterate to anyone that's listening to us, this is not college football. I'll say it one more time. This is not college football. No one cares that you beat Chattanooga in week 3. No one cares, right? And it's like there's always cupcakes on the schedule with Alabama when Alabama was smacking everybody, but it didn't matter because they would beat your team too. Like it didn't matter.
The thing that I like about this Patriots team is, yes, you have the easiest schedule, which everybody knows. I don't know why you're thinking 5 or 6 wins, but the fact that they're capitalizing on it. Now, it would be a problem if they have, let's say, 3 wins with the easiest schedule in the league. That would be a cause for concern. But the fact that you guys are capitalizing on it, you have 7 wins. I believe your bye week's week 14.
Yeah.
You're not a year away because you guys are already knowing what winning is like, almost in the Bill Belichick era, just because, Mike Vrabel. But I think that's good for this Patriots team. I hate freaking saying it. Mm-hmm. I'm about to throw up after I get done talking. I'm actually talking good about the Patriots. But I just feel like
he's likable. He's not like Brady. He's likable.
He's okay.
He's more relatable. Doesn't have the hot wife, doesn't have the, all the other stuff with him yet. So right now, and once again, if he wins early on, yeah, he'll turn to hate soon. You know this. We know how this goes. That's how it went with Mahomes. It was like, oh man, Pat Mahomes is this, and then now it's like, oh, he's the golden goose. He gets this for the league, that for the league. So they only want you to win one time. Because don't you notice, like, even think about NBA too, right? Notice how Dirk Nowitzki gets a lot more love than people like LeBron James?
I think it's because of the path that Dirk Nowitzki did in that playoff run where they beat Kobe Bryant and the champs. They beat the Spurs. They beat OKC.
Yeah. Right, that's part of it. It's just like, yeah, go ahead.
No, that's it. I was just gonna say it's just that run that he had. Like he had one All-Star on that team.
Right, but I'm like, well, I mean, at that time, but I'm like, Kidd, Jason Terry, Tyson Chandler, like, wasn't like they had guys that were really good in other places. They just happened to be all together at the same time. So, that's that. But I don't know. I just think to me, it's just I feel like you get more love when you have one or two, because it gets more romanticized. That's the word. It gets romanticized. Um, because we forget that he lost the other final to Miami, but we all know how that went. Chauncey Billups was already in on it.
Ouch.
Because we haven't been on since that news broke. You know, that's crazy, man. I know that's not. I know we are focused on football now, but that's crazy. That's crazy. You know that all that stuff unfolded like that. But here
The,
we are.
the the only thing I'll say about that is that they showed Chauncey Billups and Scary Terry Rozier, but they didn't show the Mafia people.
Mm, right. Right. Exactly. Because there's no way that he was the ringleader. Once again, may have been involved, sure, but there's no way he was the ringleader. No way. No way. So that's crazy. So that is unbelievable.
What's unbelievable is that Sauce Gardner is going to be the first person to play in two different countries in the same NFL season.
Oh yeah, well let's get into it, right? So the trade deadline just happened on Wednesday, as we record this on Friday. Um, Sauce Gardner is up there, and his teammate were two of the notable guys that were traded from that awful Jets team right now. So yeah, Sauce Gardner went to the Colts, and then Quentin Williams, excuse me, went to Dallas. So just those are two names to move. But just what were your thoughts overall on the deadline? And a bunch of these teams are like kind of not. They're not completely contenders, but they're in the hunt. So, just what were your thoughts on those teams going forward and making those type of moves?
So I actually think it's a steal for the Jets because remember, Sauce Gardner was paid in the offseason. And either this offseason or last season. I think it was this offseason. I could be wrong though. That's why I'm an analyst in quotes. And that's a lot of money for a guy who only had, I'm going to say it very nicely, 1.5 good years. So the fact that the Jets could dump all that salary, obviously Irsay's daughter must have a plan for him. Otherwise, she wouldn't waste money and time in trading for him. And the Jets get essentially 3 first-round picks between both of their defensive players, with Quentin Williams already wanting to be gone 3 times, is what they said after Aaron Rodgers wasn't coming back. So I think it's great for the Jets to rebuild because it's just that team is so dysfunctional. No matter what they do, it turns really bad. So hopefully now Aaron Glenn, he can bring in pieces that he wants. Like Mozzie Smith is okay for the defensive line, but he doesn't cost as much. So that's good for Woody Johnson. But I mean, maybe Adonai Mitchell also needed, because he's also part of the Sauce Gardner trade. Maybe he just needed a different view, per se, because he's a speedster. He was Xavier Worthy's teammate in Texas. It's just he couldn't really fit in with that scheme in Indianapolis. So maybe now Justin Fields has another good deep weapon behind him and Garrett Wilson. So I think it's good for the Jets. I think it's a little bit of a fleece with the Colts trade. Jerry Jones is Jerry Jones, so Quentin Williams is going to be a productive player, but it's not going to matter because they're not going to see the NFC Championship game.
Right. But I think I give kudos to Jerry for saying, because once again, clearly it was a fumble to make the Michael Parsons trade. Clearly, it wasn't. Let's be honest. But when you still get someone of that caliber, now granted, I know some people down there probably saying, "Oh, you could have had Michael Parsons and Quentin Williams,"
you can't with that salary. Jerry Jones doesn't want to do that,
right? Which is it's ridiculous. And he's him similar to Robert Kraft. It kind of blows my mind how they move that way, because people are coming to Patriot Place regardless. They're coming to Red Robin. They're coming to the movie theater up there. They're coming to, it's like a mini mall up there. You're going to get the revenue. You just are. That doesn't make sense. You got the Pro Shop up there. It's going to do numbers. Same thing with Texas Live. You got the food there. You got the music down there. Like everything is tied to what they do with the Rangers and Cowboys because they're right next to each other. So I'm just like, yo, like, that's insane to me. It's crazy. Like you're gonna make that back. You're gonna make it back. Whatever you invested, you're going to make it back. And people, the Cowboys are like are the Red Sox of the NFL in that regard. Um, people
I
are
figured
doing
you're gonna say the Oakland Athletics.
no, because I mean Jerry Jones is not money. He's not a money ball. I got the reason why I said I'm saying like the stadium is the attraction. The stadium's the attraction. So you're gonna want to come out. You want to come out. So I don't know. I just to me I commend him for making a move. I was annoyed that New England didn't make a move, but I wasn't surprised. Because that's just what Robert Kraft.
Well, you could have for Jacoby Myers, but apparently they lost to the Jaguars, and then they were like, you know what? Let's send them to Jacksonville.
But I mean, but getting him back.
Crazy.
I mean, I just it wouldn't. Like I said, I after what happened in that Raider game, I'll never let that down. I don't care what he produces. I don't care what he's become. I'm all set. I'm good. Like I'm good. But I just like I said, I just wish that we were able to make some type of move. I mean, obviously they got rid of Duggar, they got rid of they got rid of Peppers before the season. And it's just like, yeah, Hawkins has been great. West has been great. Obviously, you got Gonzo, you got Carlton Davis, who like I'm still my jury is still out on him. But yeah, I don't know. They're doing a lot, and they're not, or they're not doing enough to me to get certain players. But that's how Kraft operates lately. And we used to be guys that team that would go pick up guys, right? Even it was a small move, but you got Brendan Rice, who's the son of Jerry Rice. But I'm like, a practice squad wide receiver does nothing for me. Nothing. Like there's nothing that he carries the name. Great, Brendan Rice, awesome.
Oh,
Love
you guys picked him up? I thought he was trying out for the Browns.
No, yeah, the guy picked up by New England, and they was like, oh wait, there's the way. And once again, that's such a Belichick move, though. Such a Belichick move, grabbing someone off the way. And it's like, dude, like, there's nothing Brendan Rice can do for this team. Nothing. He's not going to come in and start, doing 8 catches for 90 yards. Like that's not happening. There's a reason why he went 7th round out of SMU. Like, or undrafted, whatever he was. Like,
oh, he was from USC.
Oh, I thought he went to SMU, but I'm sorry.
No. I will say though, what did you think about the Philadelphia Eagles picking up Jair Alexander, picking up Jalen Phillips for absolutely nothing?
Right.
Like, do you think this makes them better in some sense, or is it the same old Eagles? I mean, obviously, we have been on 2 weeks. Brandon Graham decided to come out of retirement from the NFL Network and showed his face back on the Eagles. So it's like, can this team repeat as Super Bowl champs, or should they have gotten like another backup running back, or are they just stacked enough?
I mean, but shout out to their front office. They continuously do what needs to be done to add to the roster. Like Philadelphia, for most of our lives, has been good. Like they just find a way to add guys. That's just what they do. And
I can attest to that.
Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's annoying that they just continuously find guys, and salary cap doesn't matter to them. Everyone else is worried about the salary cap, but them. Like they just keep spending.
Well, what they did was with all these contracts that they had, they pushed it so back that in about 2 years they're going to be in salary cap hell. So they are basically doing what the Saints were doing with Drew Brees and all of them. They're pushing all these contracts back, and then they're going to be like negative, like 30 mil in like 2 or 3 years. So they're trying to get this window's open as much as possible, win like 2 more Super Bowls, and then obviously they're going to be a salary cap hell, but that's okay for them because they won 3 Super Bowls.
Right, exactly. So, but yeah, they have a good shot to repeat. I would love to be, see my team in the mix come January. But yeah, Philadelphia is still the favorite, so someone says otherwise. So, Um, so we'll see how that goes. But anything else on the deadline before we get into the week 10 picks?
Do you have, just real quick, any teams that you think that should have traded away players or traded for players that are either in the playoff hunt or in the mix?
Well, I mean, granted, I guess you couldn't get rid of everybody, but I'm actually surprised that no one called on Garrett Wilson or Bruce Hall. So I'm surprised that only Gardner and Williams got moved. I was shocked by that.
Well, from what I heard about Brees Hall, the Jets wanted a first round pick, and teams were like, no, he's not a first rounder, and they can just sign him anyways in the offseason. So I think if they lowered their price, he probably could have got traded. But the fact that they were like, no, give us a first, people are like, no, we'll just wait till the offseason.
And then the Tennessee owner, how dare you? How and once again, not even because it was New England, but it's just like that's business negligence. To say you're not going to deal with a team because the final things ended with a coach that you fired. Not he left. Not he didn't pull a Belichick and sign on a napkin and left. Like you fired him. 2 12-5 seasons. AFC title appearance. Fired him. And he calls on Tony Pollard and a couple other guys there. And you're like, we don't know. Okay. That's wild to me. I thought San Francisco would do a little bit more or try to do a little bit more because a lot of their weapons are down. So I thought maybe they would have went after Rashid Shaheed. But here we are. But I mean, shout out to teams that made themselves at least try to get better in the moment. I was surprised Chase Young wasn't moved. I feel like he's someone that can help a team. So yeah, I don't know. Teams get real scary. They're talking about, we gotta get better. We're going to get better. And then when it comes to making a trade, like because no one wants to get fleeced or Philly, they got fleeced. Everyone's scared to make a deal. But shout out to Jim Irsay's daughter. She was like, let's forget them picks. I'm out here. I'm out here. I'm trying to make this team better now. And that's why I wanted to craft that. I'm like, yo, this team is good now. Act like it. Act like it. It's okay. It's all right. We're here, but it is what it is. So, but no, other than that, but what about you? Anything else you thought of?
I thought that the Bengals would try to trade Trey Hendrickson somewhere.
Yeah,
because he is on the franchise tag, and he's not coming back next year. You could have gotten at least something for Trey Hendrickson.
You probably could have got a fourth for him.
Yeah. How has no one wanted to trade for Shadur Sanders? The guy's rotting on the bench. Nobody needs a quarterback. I can think of a few teams, but
yeah.
But let's see. Washington, I'm surprised they didn't try to go get Shadur Sanders or anything of another backup quarterback, because the negligence they did with Jaden Daniels on Monday night it was actually crazy. Stat is him and RG3 got hurt on the same was like the 10-yarder on the same day or whatever against the same team.
Yep.
And I was like, geez, I feel like they would have held up the quarterback room a little bit, because Marcus Mariota is
not
just there. Yeah, he's a Jag, and not a Jaguar, just another guy.
Right, for sure. Well, going from just another guy to just some other picks. So let's get into it. So week 10 of the NFL, is crazy how fast the week goes. So 9:30, you start with the Matt Ryan Bowl. Falcons versus Colts. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with the Falcons. I think we saw who Daniel Jones really is. If you saw his bug eyes like this, that Steelers defense, that Atlanta pass rush is pretty good. So I'm gonna go Falcons with the upset.
Yeah, I do think the trades, add a little juice. So I think they win this week, and then they'll probably lose, the following week. But I take Indianapolis to go 8-2. Then
yeah.
So It's a shame this game didn't get flexed to 4 o'clock, but Pats Bucks. Who you got?
This is tough, but I think Baker doesn't have enough weapons that are healthy, so I'm gonna have to go Pats on this one.
Got you. I do think this is where the streak ends. I hope not. But I do think this is where the streak ends. And then they win another game next week. But I was like, I'm gonna go battle rap. Psych, I lied. You must be out your damn mind. The streak continues, baby. Let's go. Seven in a row. We walk into your house. We walk into your shop. We take over your shop. This team is a bunch of road warriors. This is what they have done all year. They've come into your house and they've won. And it's not going to change now. You're going to come in there, get a pina colada, kick their feet up at Raymond James Stadium, and then they're going to come out there victorious. Like, Tampa Bay, this opponent Drake's face. No, it's not. Not defensively, anyways. Once again, Baker's nice, but Tampa Bay passing defense is not anything to write home about. So I expect Drake to throw it over the park a lot. And the MVP candidate, he is the MVP candidate, puts another claim in his claim to fame. So I'm here for it.
Okay.
Saints Panthers.
Panthers.
Yeah, this is
keep pounding.
Giants Bears. Bears are only a 4.5 point favorite.
Bears.
Man.
Bears.
I feel like they're another team too. They start to get prosperity and they start to fall off. So I'm gonna go Bears just for the show, but don't be surprised if we come back next week and the Giants find a way to win this game.
Oh boy.
Jaguars Texans. I'm gonna go Houston here. They fell off, but I'm gonna go with Houston.
I think CJ Stroud might still be out with a concussion.
Okay.
If he's still out, I will go Jags. Yeah, I'll just go Jags. Either way, because even like Jacoby Myers is a better upgrade at receiver than what they have. Because Brian Thomas is basically should be on a milk carton. Like, where are you? I don't know what he did to piss off Cohen, but they are just not throwing to him. It's weird.
Yeah, as well. We'll take him though. We'll take him. Next one's a 1, 2, 3. Bills Dolphins.
Yeah. Circle the wagon.
Like, once again, I'm gonna take a victory lap every week on that. I told y'all, Miami is not what y'all thought they were. Man, just absolute joke. Ravens Vikings. This
Skull.
I'm going with Minnesota as well. I don't know. I don't trust Baltimore right now, and it's okay. Like I think they'll bounce back, but it ain't right now. And
talk about falling off though, unbelievable.
Yeah, but we talked about that Harbaugh could be one of them guys that be on the hot seat towards the end of the year.
Oh yeah, yep.
That clean your desk at week 18 is gonna be awesome. Next we have the Joe Flacco Bowl, even though he's not there on any team anymore. But Cleveland versus the Jets. I'm gonna go with Cleveland. Cleveland has to win. Yeah.
I don't think they wanted Cleveland on that one. I don't trust Dylan Gabriel, and Myles Garrett's the best defensive player on their team. I have to go with the Jets, unfortunately. I really don't want to, but I feel like they're gonna get a win. It's weird.
I can't trust Justin Fields to get it done. I
can't trust Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, but at least he could go 17 to 30 for like 210. Which is still awful, but it's just like
it's a hard 230 though.
Yes, it is. It's hard. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for sure. But no, I'm gonna go with Cleveland. This might be a 1, 2, 3, even though he's playing really well. Cardinals Seahawks.
Battle of the Birds again. So Jacoby Brissett is starting for probably the rest of the year. Martin Harris Jr. looks okay. But I might have to go with the Sea Hags on this one.
So I would not sit here and say that I would not lie and act like I'm not pissed off that Jacoby Brissett is balling like this in Arizona. Because Alex Van Pelt and Gerard Mayo, we don't have the time for me to go on a rant, but unbelievable
You
how
can
well
you
he's
can
playing.
you can find all his rants on missing the point. It's all New England.
Like it's unbelievable how well Jacoby Brissett's playing down there. Like unbelievable. If we had 30% of that last year, we'd probably go 7-10. But then we don't get Will Campbell. So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's just like it just highlights how bad like Alex Van Pelt should be sent into obscurity. Like send him to like Tottenham. Like send him somewhere, send him in the UK, send him out, just get him out of here. Gerard Mayo should be back in Tennessee, like selling insurance claims. Like do that. Like because you being an NFL coach, brother, it just wasn't working at all. But that I'll leave that there. Division, what do you call it? Another division game here. San Francisco, LA. Who you got?
Say one more time.
So San Francisco versus LA.
To live and die in LA.
Living down. Ain't nothing but a gangster party. Yeah, I mean, listen, I like what Mac Jones has done overall. But yeah, how I feel about Stafford too. So I'm gonna go with LA. Lions versus Commanders. This is a 1-2-3. Detroit, one pride.
Yeah, well, one pride.
And then Sunday night, Steelers versus Chargers.
Give me the Steelers just because Joe Alt's out for the year. The offensive line's already bad.
Don't talk me in having to pick the Steelers, man. Stop. Oh God.
They already have a bad O line. Joe Alt's out for the year. It's gonna end.
Yeah, but didn't they get the kid from Iowa, from Northern Iowa, and on the deadline, Penning.
I don't think so.
No, they did.
I mean, so that's just as good as Joe Alt or Rayshon Slater.
I don't know if it's just as good, but I'm saying like it would help. Because didn't Rashawn Slater go down too for them?
He went out before week 1. He tore his Achilles.
No, right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So they got
And
so
Joe Alt, I think, broke his foot. Now it's like it's broken, so he's out for the whole year. So they're already depleted.
Yeah. So Penning will help them, but no, they're gonna rally for their brother. Give me LA. I'm not picking the Steelers. And then so last but not least, we have what could be an NFC Championship preview. We got the Eagles versus the Packers. Who you got?
Well, everyone keeps saying Jordan Love at age 27 is going to be like Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers winning a Super Bowl. So I'm gonna go with the Packers.
Yeah. It's basically a pick 'em. They're a point and a half favorite. But yeah, I'm a ride with Green Bay too. I think that the Eagles still look right for picking. Like they're a good team, obviously, but which is why I think they had to go out and get some more additions. But yeah, we'll see how it unfolds. But I'm excited. So yeah, let's get into final thoughts. So you can start, sir.
Basically, my final thoughts are that I'm kind of speechless right now for final thoughts, just because I don't want to go on a tirade about the Giants because they are who we thought they were, and I think I think the only thing I'll say for final thoughts is the Tennessee Titans need to get it together and invest in Cam Ward because he's better than people think he is.
Mhm.
Like what he's showing out in the field is his fault a little bit, but it's more or less on Tennessee.
Right.
And the fact that you guys can't get it together for your number one pick, I don't care about Callahan, and he didn't have enough time. It's just Cam Moore can be special. I'm
Mhm.
not saying because he was from the U. We saw him at Incarnate Ward at Washington State.
Mhm.
Great ball, and they're just not developing him the way that they should be. And I don't want him to be like Marcus Mariota.
Right.
But yeah, that's all I really got. And as always, like black people matter.
Yeah. I think we'd be remiss, especially on this is what we have done since the inception of this show. We always highlight when something happens in the community. In this case, the Cowboys defensive end, Marshawn Nealon, took his life earlier this week. And they had just played on Monday Night Football. He scored a touchdown, but takes his life 2 days later. And, it's we've gotten on here and talked about how, men's mental health matters. I know, Aaron, you've had battles with mental health. I've had battles with mental health. A guy that used to be on here with us, Shay, he's had his own issues with mental health, I would assume. So with that, if you're listening to this, if you're finding joy and listening to this, we thank you for tuning in. We thank you for allowing us to be a quick escape from what's going on in your day or even in your week or even in your month. But check in with somebody if you can. Check in with somebody if you can. There's too many resources out here to stay silent about what's going on with you. It's just this. Yes, it could feel cloudy. Yes, it could feel heavy. But whether it's you need to crack a joke about something, whether it's you need to go out to a restaurant and get something to eat, whether it's you need to, be more in tune spiritually, whatever you need to do, find a way. Find a way. Once again, it's easier said than done. Hell, you can reach us online. You can find us at, Fake Football Analysts. Like, well, we would love to connect with people. Because transparency, I go through seasonal depression. I battle with that. And, it's never to a point where I'm like, oh man, like I want to take my life. But, it is something where it does get heavy. And I've had some moments recently where it's gotten heavy. And, Aaron and I have known each other since college. And, we talk all the time. And, we know that we can lean on one another if anything ever got ever got too crazy. So, but I just say that to say, lean on somebody. Don't go silent. Your voice matters. Your opinion matters. But more importantly, your presence matters. So I'll leave it on that. So for my guy Aaron Cass, I'm Hollywood Sean Buchanan. Until next time, y'all. We'll see you. Peace.